Apocalypse was always really good at telling me who was talking shit about me. And for a while I would follow him into the chat room, and then I was like, I'm just not the online fighting type. I'm the real life fighting type. When these people have the courage to make themselves present, then we'll talk. I'm ready to rock and roll. But I don't like the negative aspect of this, and I got to start edging my way back out of that mindset. You guys know what I'm talking about. Some of you guys have been around a while. Let's get into stuff that can help. Let's get into stuff where we can learn. We talked about alpha males, beta males, omega, zeta, fucking Catherine Zeta-Jones males, and there are some of those. She's probably tougher than most of the men I'm thinking of right now. But toughness comes through. It comes through on radio, comes through in real life, comes through in your body language. And people kind of know who not to fuck with, don't they? In person. They kind of know. And then you get the guys drinking, and they don't know. They forget. They forget the rules of how it's going to work, and you got to give them an ass whooping. And I've never really been proud of whooping an ass. No, can't say that I have. Never felt, wow, I just whipped his ass. It was just like, okay, next. Next order of business. It was almost like a routine. Because as a tall guy in a bar, the short guys are always going to come fuck with you. As soon as they get a few drinks on them, they have to. They have to. It's a law of nature. Meth cooking for part-time work. Oh, I thought it was interesting earlier that Joe said, because I said I make as much money in 2 days as he makes in 2 months. And he said, oh, so now you're rich? And I was thinking, no. No, I'm not, which says a lot about you. But he didn't even realize he was making his own joke against himself. It takes a certain amount of intellect. I don't expect everybody to have that. Booty calls are needed. Yes, Guy, even now, with my fucked up back and knee, I do still need to get laid about twice a year. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't engaged with a woman since I separated from my ex-fiance. We still get along very well, by the way. I haven't. I just haven't. And I'm thinking now that maybe I'm going to have to, K-Tap's going to have to go tap and hit some of that ass somewhere. And my buddy keeps trying to push me into it. And, there's a certain amount of getting over my last relationship. When I'm deeply involved with a woman, I don't cheat ever. And it's hard to just turn it off. I'm dedicated to this woman. Okay, now I gotta be a free mind again. That's difficult for me, but I'm going to be hitting some ass here soon. I have to. I'm human. But I guess I'll tell you all about it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do for you guys, just because you've taken the time to listen to me tonight. I'm going to share my next sexual experience with you when it happens. I'm going to talk to the girl beforehand and say, listen, I got this little podcast, and I want to tell all the people that I'm talking to what we did, all of it. And I want to share a lot of details, maybe even more than you'd be comfortable with. Can you handle it? Now, I'll make sure to ask her these questions after she's been drinking. I'm not stupid. I know when to get the answers I want. And then I'll come back and I'll be sober on the show that I do. And I'll explain the details to you and tell you what it's like for a guy in his mid-40s who's been pent up a bit to get kind of wacky with it and ride that mechanical ball. Yes. Yeehaw. Run, nigga, 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 run, nigga, nigga. And I'm not talking about black girls, because that'd be racist. But yeah, we're going to do that. And here, I wanted to share a moment of happiness I had not too long ago with you guys. And listen to this real quick.
What a walking vagina would look like? I'm losing my mind, folks. I'm sorry. Have you ever thought of what a walking vagina would look like? I mean, first of all, it would just kind of look like two long legs with so the clit. It looked like a little sailor's hat, or like a little French hat on top. Hello, I'm a vagina. I'm a vagina. Welcome to France. Do you smell the poisson?
Yeah, had a little giggly there. You know how it happens. You get, and it was, Barco had sent me some drugs. He was always trying to push drugs on me, and I took his drugs. They were legal, and he said they were used by pilots, especially that needed to be very awake and alert. And I found the idea of K-Tap going to get the drill out again. Yeah, well, I got to put some 3-in-1 oil on that bitch, get things working again. But he was talking about these pilots and being hyper aware, and I just could not shake the thought of what a giant vagina would look like, because I watch comedy videos a lot, and I'm still dreaming of the day when somebody gets the balls up where one guy or girl dresses like a giant vagina and one guy or girl dresses in a giant penis outfit, and I just want to see the penis chase the vagina through the town. I think it would be a brilliant and beautiful video. I haven't seen anybody do it yet. The Jackass guys would be primary examples of who would pull this shit off, and I need to see that. And so I got the feeling, what would a giant vagina look like? And I lost it. Fucking lost it. It's not funny to me anymore because I've thought about it too much, and anything you think too much about isn't funny anymore. I want to see that too, Debbie. But here's the thing. You guys want to find out there's something weird here. If you think about a word, I can't remember the basic rule, but if you think about an English word, a very random one, not one you use often, for about 5 minutes, it will completely lose all of its meaning. It's really weird. And I've done it a few times before and had to get away from it so that I could recalibrate the definition of the word with the word in my head. Very strange. Think about it sometime right before you go into bed. Just, I don't know, take the word, what's a word that doesn't have a double entendre? Take the word dart. That's a good one. Dart. D-A-R-T. And just think about it over and over. The word, the meaning, the word, the meaning. It'll stop making sense. It's the weirdest shit. Let's see. I'm not going to talk about any more Spreaker drama. I'm not going to talk about any news. We've talked about what makes men men, makes real men men, and what makes women women. Women that are respectable, honorable, professional women. Why women hate each other so much, I don't get. You probably heard the old axiom that women do not dress for men. They dress for other women. I believe that. I grew with 4 sisters, and I got to see a lot of this from the inside of the circus instead of the audience side. But when women get mad at each other, I've never seen a more determined force at work than the woman who's mad getting at the other one somehow. And she will have not just one or two ways. Like, guys, we're either going to fucking beat the shit out of you, or we're going to make a couple phone calls. Whatever. Women, no. They got a list. They got a list numbered from 1 to 100. And in each one of those slots is another way they can fuck you up. And they will. And they'll keep going down the list until they get you. And it's crazy, the determination of a woman who wants to see somebody go down. Especially, I gotta admit, some women have an advantage. If they're pretty, intelligent, or otherwise have a kind of a social ranking, they can employ minions to help do their dirty deeds. And they will push forward as a team and bring your ass down. It's an amazing thing to watch. It's like watching ant colonies attack other ant colonies where there's just the one queen. You see that? But with women, they don't need a colony. They can do it themselves. Very creative on how they're gonna hurt somebody. Maybe it's the polar opposite. I once heard somebody say that however friendly a person is, they can be equally nasty. So you're either kind of hovering around center there, never really too nice, never really too mean, or you're an extremist and you can get very nice and you get very mean. But I think with women, because they're naturally, most of them, some of them are psychopaths, you have to decide for yourself who those are. I think they're naturally going to be more altruistically caring about other people, and especially the young, so that maybe they feel super violated when they are offended by somebody. And that turns into an equal amount of emotional response, but on the negative side of things. And maybe that accounts for the determination. Pizza rolls are my favorite. Christ, what would that mean for me? RD, who's going to be a dad, tell me when this baby's going to be born, RD. I know you're looking forward to it. Equally mean as my Buddhist niceness. Are you Buddhist now? I ain't believing in any religions. I wanted one. I looked at them all. I did, man. I gave a good examination of them and kept thinking, we humans, we create so many gods that now I can't believe in any of them. Nothing personal. It's just the academic part of my mind was never overcome by the emotional part to need a giant invisible dude in the sky, an anthropomorphic version of me telling me what to do and think. Nope, I'm not buying it. One day I might come face to face with a god and he'll say, "You have not lived as I asked you to live." and I'll say, have you seen who the fuck was teaching me about you? These motherfuckers here? And you wanted me to follow them? Shit, God. You know I'm a lone wolf, man. What the fuck, man? And tell me this, God, is heaven as retarded as it looks? Because if I see angels flying around with violins and shit and playing harps, I'm going to have to punch them. And I'm not a violent person by nature, but I can't handle that. That sounds like Sunday school to me. Take me to the club up in heaven on a hill that has women dancing naked and snakes slithering around because that adds to the ambiance, and free drinks for everybody because it's heaven, you know. And none of those little cherub fuckers, because that's a little kinky to have little babies flying around looking at you. Get the fuck out of here with the. You go over to kids school, and you know y'all can learn some vocabulary. We're up here with the ass and the snakes and the drinks. We're gonna have some fun here in heaven. Now I want to go to heaven. Now you've given me incentive. I'm looking for holy books. I'm going. Where's this God? But yeah, God. That's what I'd say. God, your PR sucked. I'm very sorry about that. And that's why you lost so many followers. Now think about these guys in the Middle East. You see, look at any attack tape. I talked about this a little the other day. I don't want to go too deep into it, but these extremist Islamics who are over there wanting to kill anybody who's not an extremist Islamic, and they're going, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, explosion, 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 Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, explosion, explosion. They think they have to say this every 5 seconds. So these people must believe that their God needs to hear praise from them every few seconds, or they're not getting into heaven. I still get speechless when I think about that. What God would need you, little peon human, to praise him every 5 seconds to feel good about himself? I mean, that God has an anxiety issue. That God needs to go see Dr. Katz. Dr. Katz could fix that motherfucker. It may be a little bit of counseling. It may be a lot of medication. But something has to give there, because this God has a serious, very serious, almost diabolically serious confidence issue. And if he's got that much of a confidence issue, who's he competing himself with? Who's he in competition with? It ain't the devil. The devil's just a joker, isn't he? Just a jester in the king's court? I don't get it. I love Dr. Katz RD. Dr. Katz was the first thing that ever got me interested in psychology. I think he was a Jew guy. You wouldn't like him. You would have said, how the fuck did he get off the train? Now, he got off. He escaped. But I love the dialogues between him and his son. Yeah. Jimmy Lethal is still pushing for the chat room to nigger smash, if you're into that kind of thing. Now, from what Guy says, if I owned a restaurant and I had a certain section for blacks, or a quota for how many black customers I'd want, because Guy would say they don't tip, so you don't want to punish your waitresses by having too many black customers. He's telling me that I would have to nigger smash to get the black people out of the restaurant to make room for more black people for that section. I mean, if you're going to do that, I say create sections. Have your Negro section, have your honky section, have your Spic section, your Asian section, and I'd say go ahead and make a small booth for Pacific Islanders or Aleutian or Native Americans, just because not many of them are showing up. They're on the reservation. They're fucking doing aloha shit. They're not coming to your restaurant. I won't just crush his bone, DJ Bag. I will send nigger crush his bones. When you guys do nigger smash, I'm going to guess that there's that sound that goes through your head that sounds probably something like this. Yeah, it's quick, but it's cool though. I like that. Oh Lord, I've got some great media clips here. I just don't know what you guys are in the mood for. You guys give me a little feedback in the chat room. Would we like to look at human psychology, go deep into that? Would we like to do a little bit of... I did download a new clip of stupid game show answers, if you're interested. And these can be incredibly funny. Or we can play Hillary Clinton, one sound bites, like... Yeah, just because of... that's not very entertaining there. I could fill in between, probably. But why do that? While we're waiting for you guys to come up with what you want to get deeper into, since I've got the super long account and I can go forever, and I think I'm going to start off with this new clip that I got down, which was about stupid game show answers. Not one I played 2 shows ago, but a new clip. Now there may be a little bit of crossover where you're getting